Hello everyone, it's Bonnie with a mat Pilates class today. Today I'm using a small ball. We have these here at the rec center. You could just use, a child's just ball that you have around the house. It is important that you have it slightly deflated. So you can see if I grab it, I can pinch it, and that's going to help it mold a little better to the body and keep it from slipping out from underneath you. You can do all this work without a ball. You will just be laying flat on the ground, and a lot of the work will look familiar to you in terms of the core work, doing our ab curls, rollbacks, things like that. So just to give it a little more flavor, bring a little prop into the work. So we will go ahead and get started sitting sideways. One thing to remember as we go through this workout, the closer the ball is to you, the more intense it's going to be and the harder to balance as we're leaning back on it. If it's a little bit further away, you're going to have a little more control, and it also won't be quite as intense. So if you're new to using the ball, you might want to start with it back, especially just for this warm-up. You can begin with the knees bent, and you want to try to sit nice and tall. So if the hip flexors are really tight or kind of grabby in here, you might want to even let the knees open up as we start. So we're just going to take some breath work here. I'm just going to let my knees be open, and I'm going to take my hands around them and then just lift the chest, inhale to open. And then as I exhale, I'm just going to flex backwards. So letting the shoulder blades separate, the chin tuck, the eyes look down. And repeating this, inhale to extend up, and exhale to flex. And if you want to move the hands, kind of different places, to give yourself some different feedback, please do that. And we'll do a couple more. Inhale to open, and exhale to flex. And one more time, inhaling to open, and exhale to flex. Now from here, I'm going to find the ball with my back, and on an inhale, take the arms overhead and just think long. Here, take an inhale, and then exhale, ab curl, but staying on the ball. So I'm just reaching forward. So think length, inhale. Exhale, fold those upper abdominals. So right away, you're going to kind of notice, if you like, where that ball is placed. You want to be able to fold from the rib cage. And we're not yet going into like a back bend. You're just going long. Inhale, exhale. So let your eyes kind of trail up to the ceiling, and then they follow and look straight ahead. And just nice deep breaths as we start here. Inhale and exhale to reach. One more like this. And exhale to reach. Now adding a twist, I'm going to take my right arm up and over, following it with the eyes, and then retracing my steps. So a little more of a bend. Inhale, reaching back. Exhale up. So as we work our way into the warm-up, if you're looking for a little more heat or intensity, you can just scooch a little higher up on the ball, right? So it's on your low back. And if it's already getting to be too much, bring the ball closer to your shoulder blades. And if you're just like, I'm not liking this on my back, get rid of the ball and move from the floor. Inhale to reach. Exhale, scoop up. Starting to feel the heat in those abdominals. Inhale, exhale. And let's take one more here. And bring it on in. Now bring the hands behind the head. We're just going to find a stretch. This time opening up into full extension. Opportunity to reset the ball. So I'm just going to make sure my feet are flat. And we're going to take an ab curl. So this time supporting the head, folding at the rib cage, curling up. There's our exhale. Inhale, creating length, but stability. Exhale, curling for 2. These things are going to show up later in the workout, so make sure this is not too intense right out the gate here, but you can really tell where the work is. These upper abdominals, pelvis is stable, head and neck are supported. breathe out, and in. So it's really important that you're not trying to go into a full sit-up or like yank on the neck, right? Elbows are wide. You want to know exactly where you're working. You should feel that kind of high, if you would have a heart rate monitor strap on, right where that would sit. And let's take one more, feeling these, and then let's take our stretch out. I'm going to lay back and also let my legs go long just to open the hips. And we have one more move in this series of warm-ups. I'm going to plant my feet flat, and we're going to add rotation to this. So I start back again, and as I curl up, I turn, elbows wide, both hips anchored. So you want to keep the knees pretty much still, and then inhale to go back. Exhale, find that rotation, and inhale back. So right away, you'll notice the ball doesn't really allow for much, variance or cheating, right? Keeps you right in where you want that rotation to be. Elbows stay open, super important. And we're exhaling up on the twist and inhale to create that space. Exhale, rotate here, and inhale to go back. And back. Let's go for 4 more. 1, and feet are down. Like I said, these are going to show up later with a little bit more challenge, even though we're feeling this already. And one more time. Woo, and bring it in. We are warmed up through those abdominals. Come into a full stretch. And we're going to take a set of roll-ups. So my arms come back over my head, feet are flexed. Reach the arms, and just having that ball there is your little assist that can help lift you up. And then you roll back. You're going to find the ball. And you can lay all the way back if that feels good. And repeat. So we're going to reach forward, look toward our feet. Peel off the ball. Sit tall. And then take it back. Length through the front of the hips. Slide down. Little stretch at the bottom here. And we go again. Curling up. And reach. And rise. At the top. And go back again. Down. And take a stretch. Last time, bring it on up and release the arms. All right, our next series, we are going to be working in a bridge. So we're going to come down to our back, place the ball between the knees, and put the feet flat on the floor. We want to make sure that our triceps are engaged, so arms press firmly into the ground. It's going to prepare us for our next series as well. And feet flat. We're just going to take a little pelvic curl, so we tuck the tail under, put a little extra squeeze on the ball, and then release. So I'm just working through like the bottom 3-4 inches of the spine, kind of figuring out my position. So I want the neck long, the collarbones wide. Think about the tripod on the feet. So we have weight under our big toe, baby toe, and heel at all times. That's going to help activate your inner thigh muscles a little bit more. And just having that little bit of hold on the ball will help with that as well. Let's take one more like this. We're going to lift and hold. Now lower a little bit from where your normal is. We're going to just activate our glutes a little extra today. So we're going to keep our back flat, lower down till your sacrum touches the ground, and then press up through the feet. So I'm not going into a high bridge. I'm actually staying pretty low here. And I want the chest open, the arms strong, squeeze and lift. Take it down and squeeze. Inhale. Exhale. So working in this lower bridge is a little more glute activation, also hamstrings, which we're going to be working later as well. The ball is a great tool for getting these muscles to fire a little more deeply here. Inhale, exhale, squeeze, and let's go 4. And rise. And I'm also using my arms, so pressing down so I can keep the neck lengthened, upper back connected to the ground. And last one. Roll all the way down to the bottom. Very good. Next, we're going to do a stability exercise for the pelvis. So we're going to lift the hips up. The ball's going to come underneath your sacrum. It's important that it's not too high up in the low back, but it's on the back of the pelvis. And this one's going to require some balance. So I'm going to start by bringing my legs up to tabletop. You have 3 choices with your hands. Either leave them at your sides here, bend the elbows by plugging them into the mat to keep that chest open, or we're going straight up. So obviously this is much harder, so you're going to pick one that works for you. We're going to take our legs straight up, and instead of letting them come at the body, let's bring them right over our hips. So plug the shoulder blades into the mat, keep the head heavy, and we're going to flex both feet and point both feet. And flex both feet and point both feet. Right, so I'm drawing my navel into my spine and point, and flex both feet and point. 2 more, and you'll know kind of right away if the arm position's working for you. Inhale, exhale, hold. Now we're going to take the right leg only, and we're going to flex that foot, lower it down. You decide how low, and you point the leg lifted up, same leg. Inhale down, and exhale up. When the leg lowers, we don't want to flare the ribs or pooch the belly. So I'm only lowering as far as I can go, keeping that all intact. It's inhale, exhale to reach. Let's try 3 more here. Anytime you need to bring those arms down, just find a new position so you can stay strong in the legs. And when your arms make contact with the mat, use them. And let's switch legs. So the left leg flexes and lowers, and points and lifts. If your hands are on the ground, you can always try to lessen that. Maybe if they're flat, bend the elbows and just check in there. Find those triceps. Inhale, exhale to rise. We have 4. And lift. And keep that opposite leg stretching up to the sky and lift. And let's go for 2 more. 1, and lift up. And 1 more time. And pick it on up. New move. Legs are going to go opposite each other. So I'm going to lower 1, bring the other one toward me, and scissor. So now that we have them both moving, it's a little harder to balance. Play with that arm position again. Challenge yourself. And if you're falling all over the place, that's okay. Right? You don't know kind of where you're at unless you try. Right? This is one you can always come back to and move whatever pace makes sense to you. You can do this very slow. And if you're just starting out, make the leg movement very, very small. And you can build into a bigger scissor over time. So just meet yourself where you're at. Tons of work through those low abdominals on this one. Let's just finish the one we're on and bring our legs up into a Pilates V. So that's heels together, toes apart. And I'm going to take my legs and separate them open, and then flex the feet, bring together. So now the legs are going out at a different plane, different range of motion here. So you might feel new wobbles, and that's all good. Helps keep you aware of what's going on in the body, so we can't move mindlessly here. You have to be extremely tuned in to the work. Let's go for 4. And in. And open for 3. Squeeze together. 2 more. Point to open. And flex to lift. And 1 more time. And flex to lift. Now bring the arms down to the floor. Hug the knees in. Our next exercise is going to be a build up into rollover or an inversion. So I just want to go through some preparatory exercises. If you do have any issues in the neck, this is one you're not going to want to do in its entirety, but you can start and do these first couple. So the very first thing is just arms pressing down, triceps active. You hug the knees into the chest as tightly as you can, pressing with those arms, and then you release. So you take an inhale, exhale, draw in. Make this a little more energetic than you think it should be, right? Use your arms, draw the navel in, and release. 1 more like this. So this is where you're starting. If this is new for you or any back or neck issues, repeat that. Otherwise, knees come in. We press with our arms and we hover the hips. And then we draw the knees in even tighter, keeping the head down on the mat, and you roll it on down. So find what works for you here. If you can't lift very high, that is okay. You have to start somewhere. All right, so start at the beginning, build your way in. What we want to avoid is like using our arms to do this. This is a core exercise, and I mean arms by pushing your butt up. You want to learn to use the arms on the ground, pushing down into the floor. So we strengthen through the triceps. Now the full expression of the exercise, legs are straight. They go away from the body slightly. Again, the wobbles keep us kind of in check here. We roll it over. We lift. Neck stays long and we roll down, pressing into the back of the arms. Should feel the triceps on this. And then we release down. And we do it again. Inhale and exhale, roll. And you can be in the other two variations. Stay with it. Try for two more. Up and rolling it down. And one more time here. Inhale, exhale, up. And roll it all the way down. Awesome work. Step the feet down. Take the ball out. Set it to the side. Hug the knees to the chest and just roll it out. All right, we're moving into some more abdominal work on the floor. I'm going to take the ball between my ankles, so it's just above my ankle bones with the arms up to the ceiling. So I'm going to start here with an ab curl. So curling up, and think about really hugging the knees inward. Shoulder blades off the mat. We're going to extend the legs out. Now the higher the angle, the easier it is to maintain body position. Exhale in. If you go lower, just make sure you're not falling back. You stay in your curl for two more. Inhale to stretch and exhale, pull it in. And one more time for the stretch and pull it on in and lay down. Adding on here, we're going to come up. Arms go opposite the legs. Double leg stretch, right? So we reach up, inhale, exhale, in. Inhale to open, but I'm not opening all the way. Keep the upper body where it is, hold, and pull it in. And one more time, and pull it on in and lay it down. Next, we're going to take the legs straight up in the air. Bring the hands behind the head, and we ab curl here. Exhale, lift, and lower, and lift. So we're working on that lift. Legs stay still, up, and down. Exhale, four more. Right here, squeeze the ball, one, and back. Exhale, lift, two, and back. Two more, squeeze up, and down, and up, hold. Take the hands, hand over hand, reach up, and two, like you're trying to reach over the ball, three, and four. Go for five, nice job, 6, and 7, and 8. Lay it down, arms out at a T. Bend the knees for a moment, give yourself a little rest here. And we're going to extend those legs up, and we're going to rotate so that the right leg goes on top of the left, and then rotate around. So this is where it's so important to have a little bit of air taken out of that ball, otherwise it's going to go flying on you. Inner thighs are working, low abs for sure. Press with the arms. We have 4 more sets. There's 1 and 2. Keep tension the whole time. Rotate for 3 and around. Last one, rotate 4 and around. Hug the knees in. Grab behind the thighs, rock and roll yourself up. Awesome work. And we're going to take a little rolling like a ball variation here. That makes the work a little bit more challenging. We're going to take it between our thighs and our calves. Now, if it's hard for you to get into this position via like your knees or your hips, you can take the ball between the knees and just work on that inner thigh connection also. So I'm going to go here, and I'm going to start holding the legs. So we're in our little rolling like a ball position. Shoulders are down, eyes are down toward the thighs. And I draw the heels in toward my seat, the knees into my chest to initiate the roll. And I try not to lose the ball or let my feet touch the floor on the way up. We made it. Let's try it again. Rolling back. Keep the shape. Lift. Oops, see? Too far that time. That happens. Here we go. Roll. Gotta fight for that top position. And we'll try it again. Eyes down at the thighs. And 3 more. Inhale, exhale. You gotta initiate with that scoop. Hug it in. Much harder with the ball roll. And up and hold. And one more time. Yes, much harder. So if it's exercise you struggle with, again, you can lose the ball, but it really forces you to stop at the top there. We're gonna go to sideline next. Ball, again, is right above your ankle bones, and we're lying down all the way to a full sideline position. Our head is on our arm, our feet are flexed, and you can let your ribs on that bottom side press into the floor. We're doing a side banana lift here. So we squeeze the ball. Think of driving your bottom leg to press up into the ball and lower. And you are right on that hip bone. So feel free to add extra pad under the hip if this is uncomfortable, because you're right on that bone, trying to stay stable. Let's go up for 4 and down and lift for 3. Lower. Good. Keep going here. 2. Now we're going to hold, and we did this rotation before in our abs series. So I'm going to bring my top leg in front and my bottom leg in front, and my inner thighs are squeezing. And as you're finding out, you have to have your legs high enough that you can move without hitting the floor. Or if you didn't have the ball, you're still moving those legs. Bottom forward and then top forward. And one more here. And top forward, line it up. Reach the arm, pulse the legs. 2, 3, 4, squeeze. 5, 6, 7, and 8. Rest down. Come on up, and we'll take it to the other side. So from here, I'm right above my ankle bones. The body is in a straight line, resting all the way down, and head rests on the arm. Flexing the feet, and we lift up, lower down. Squeeze to lift, and lower. Again, stretch up, lower down, and lower. Keep going for 4, and down. Use the bottom leg to drive that top leg up, and 2, and once more. Hold, and we rotate, and rotate. So go at your own tempo. It's so important you keep tension throughout. Otherwise, it's going to fall out. And it might always feel like it's close. So keep those legs working in unison with each other. 2 more here. Again, another of those exercises, you have to really stay in it. Stay aware. Line them up and pulse up. 2, 3, squeeze, let the bottom leg drive the top leg up. 6 and 7 and 8, and rest. Wonderful. We are going to turn on to our bellies, and I'm going to adjust the ball so it's more at my heels. Word of warning with this next series, it's extremely challenging on the hamstrings and the inner thighs. And you can do this just heels together without the ball. It's just as hard. So if, again, mine falls down, we'll just go that route. We want to keep the upper body relaxed for this set today. So you're just going to rest your head on your hands. Let your shoulders roll down away from the ears. Your knees are about the width of your mat or slightly wider. Heels to the ball and feet are flexed. Pressing your pelvis firmly into the ground. We engage the legs. Now your thighs may or may not lift. That's not the objective here. It's that you activate the backs of the legs. So a little lift, great, but work for that connection of hip bones to floor. And if you're not able to get me lift, you can take a little rolled up pad or towel right under the pelvis, which will give you more of a lift anyway. So let's keep doing this. Relax the torso, squeeze, and down, and 4, and down, lift 3, 2 more, 1 more time, and rest. So new move, this is where it gets interesting. You're going to lift the legs or activate the hamstrings. Draw your knees toward each other. It does not take much. You'll feel it right away. Open those knees, lower it down. So we come up. They come toward each other. They open, release, and lift. In, open, release. Again, you'll feel this one. In, open. We have 4 to go. 1. Open. Make sure both legs are working. 2. And down. 2 more. Up. In. Out. Last one. Up. In. Out. Down. Now extend the legs long. Ball is still there. And we're going to squeeze the ball. Start pulsing through those heels. And pulse, pulse, pulse. Now lift the head. And hold it here. Goalpost arm if you can. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4, and out. 2, 3, 4. One more. Set. And out. Now arms overhead. We're almost there. In. 2, 3, 4, and out. 2, 3. Keep stretching. Last 8. And exhale. 2, 3, and rest. Hands down. Ball down. Press up into your all fours. You can sit into a child's pose. And reach. Alrighty. Moving on to almost our last set of the day. We have a series of push-ups. We're going to start with some tricep push-ups. Now what's going to make this different is I'm going to have one hand on the ball, one hand on the floor. And I'm going to stay in my all fours position. So as I bend down, I'm touching my left forearm and my right elbow onto the ground. And then I'm pressing into both hands. So we want to make sure that we're level. Now you'll notice I picked my feet up, so I put weight deliberately into my hands. So if you need a modification, just come back and take some of that load off. So here we go. All the way down, all the way up. And you want to keep the head in line with the spine. So avoid dropping it too low or looking up. Just straight line. Down, press and lift. Elbows point directly toward your kneecaps. 3, and up, and 2, and up, down and hold. You're going to lift 1 inch. And it's both of my arms. Now be honest, can you shift a little bit more forward into those hands? 4, and 3, and 2, all the way up. And change hands. So plant 1. Other one on the ball, back is nice and straight, and we dip down and push up, and dip down, drive through the hands. Again, lower, and lift, and lower, and lift. We have 3, and 2, and 1. Feel that ball shoulder here go down, and we pulse up. Again, weight forward, back long, 4 more, 1, and 2, and 3, all the way up. All right, we have chest push-ups. Make sure that you take the arms wide. So my ball is actually outside of my mat so that I can really take the elbows sideways. So this time the elbows don't touch the ground, and because a little bigger muscle group, I'm going to walk my knees back slightly. So as I bend down, my torso lowers with it this time, and I come up. To modify, just keep the knees in and bring it down and up. Your choice. You can also feel free to go to your toes on this if you're really feeling it. And up, we got 2 more. Down and up, and hold, pulse, 2, 3, exhale, 4. Keep it strong. 6, 7, all the way up. Gets a lot harder, a lot faster. Here we go. Ball hand, other hand. Find that plank that works for you. I'm just coming in a little bit more. And elbows wide. Exhale up. And 2. Lower for 3. And lift. And 4. Go. 5. That nice straight line. Think about your breath. Abs in. 7. And here is our hold to pulse. Use both hands. 4 more. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Finish. And take the ball in front of you. 2 hands on the ball. Sit back. So let the head come down between and the arms reach long. Bring it up. And we're just going to take a seat facing the front and end with a little side stretch. Take the ball out in your right hand and just reach on up and let your other hand come to the floor and stretch over and rise up. And we're going to change hands. So take it the other way. Inhale and exhale over. And rise on up. And do it again. Inhale to lift, exhale over. And rise on up. Other way. Inhale, exhale. And bring it up. And come on in. Alrighty, you guys. Thanks as always for joining me. And I will see you next time.